Hey, what is up, everybody? This is the brand new movie review station, Mission Movie Reviews. I'm Barry Gaines,
Jay Greene.
and we are here just to, of course, talk real talk, yo. Real talk about movies, and this is our first one. So, everyone out there who's watching right now, just be patient with us. We're rolling along. You know, we just talk about movies. We're big movie fans. We love cinema. We've been around for a minute, and we have a lot to say, and we have some reviews I think you'll like. And today, we're going to start off with 28 years later. Yeah, the Bone Temple, right?
So basically, this movie is picking up after the last one, 28 years later, and we're kind of following up with Spike. He's seemingly trying to get back home, right? But he gets ambushed at the end of the previous film by, let's just say, the Tracksuit Mafia. And they kind of take him into their little cult and whatnot. And he's basically got to fight one of the members. And, you know, if he lives, he's rocking with them. He becomes a Jimmy. And if he dies, he dies. You dig? So once he, you know, is a successor of that fight, he's going along with them at the same time trying to escape their mayhem. And it comes to a point where one of the members sees Ray Fiennes' character from the previous film, Dr. Kelson, I think his name was. Yeah. And she thinks that this dude is Satan based on what Jack O'Connell's character has been telling these people, right? So he's got them like, you know, brainwashed in a sense, thinking that he's the son of Satan. Right. So she's like, oh, snap, we got to go see this dude. And Jack O'Connell's character, you know, checking it out and whatnot. And he knows what's up, but he ain't going to tell them what's up. So that's kind of like where the movie is going toward in the end, where it's going to be a confrontation and a meeting between Jack O'Connell and his little crew. Spike is going to get reunited with Dr. Kelson, how they all going to interact, what's going to go on. But throughout the entire film, Dr. Kelson is doing some, let's just say, experimentation with the alpha that we saw in 28 years later. And, you know, it's coming up with some interesting things without spoiling anything too much. So it's kind of like dealing with what Dr. Kelson's got going on, is dealing with Spike and how he's navigating these sadistic, you know, cult people and whatnot. And is he going to make it? Is he not? What's going to jump off? And that's pretty much where we're at.
Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, and you're right, pretty much in a nutshell, you know? And I like how the movie just kind of, first of all, I love the film. I really did. You know, I think I came out the theater at first, just had to think it over. And as I was thinking about it and who's in it, who's involved, and then what was it about, what was it really saying, then I became like, all of a sudden, I was actually liked it more after I started thinking about it. It's one of those things. I had to like kind of take it in for a little bit. And I was like, yo, this movie's banging. This is a banger right here. Because one thing I love about this is that, number one, the zombies, they're in the way, man. And that's what I love about these movies, you know. It's like everyone knows, okay, listen, this is life. You know what I mean? It's like us living right now. You know, we got these bees and mosquitoes. We keep getting in our way. They can do some damage, yo, if they really want to get together. They get together, yo. That's our ass. But, you know, we deal with it. And these guys deal with it. But what I love about it is that, you know, Nia DaCosta, who's the director on this, really took kind of a different step, as opposed to the prior director. And I think that she kept the feel. I think she broadened the scope a little more. And she really brought you into the character, I think, a little bit more. Although 28 years later was good too. It was really character driven too. But this one really had the Jimmys were just like, man, just scary. I mean, you really felt there was an edge to everything. There was a consequence to everything. And I think that's what really makes a great film, that when you feel that, you know the movie's going to end. But as the process, there's a consequence, man, for everything that they're doing. And the kid that played by Alfie Williams, Spike, I think he did a great job. He didn't have to say much. Just his eyes and what he was trying to portray as being like, wow, I don't know how this is going to end. Like, we didn't either. We felt like we were Spike. Like, I don't know how this is going to end. You know, the doctor's not all there himself. He's doing his thing, you know, and he nowhere around for a minute. So he's doing his thing. Spike is on his road, you know, and then the Jimmys are doing their thing. Which I love that name, by the way, the Jimmys. That was kind of I like how that worked.
That's what I was going to say too. Is like another thing that I enjoyed about this movie, you know, coming off of the other ones, and just the 28 years later franchise or 28 days later franchise in general, especially with this one, is that when you see most of the movies where they're in like some post-apocalyptic whatever, you might see like like if you think about like Book of Eli, post-apocalyptic, whatever's jumping off in that,
Yeah.
you got the regular people just trying to maintain, and then you got the corrupt people, right?
Yeah.
But when you think of like a Walking Dead or a Dawn of the Dead and stuff like that, usually most of the people that you're going to meet on the road are all effed up in the head. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So,
right.
so the fact that we're kind of seeing, you know, Ray Fiennes' character, Dr. Kelson, trying to do good, trying to live, in his own crazy way. He's like, you know, paying homage to the people that didn't make it by building his old bone temple. So it's like, yeah, it's crazy from the outside looking in, but inside he's trying to like maintain a sense of humanity by respecting the dead in a sense. So I like that and how they portrayed that. I thought that was super fly. Yeah. And then the same thing like you were talking about where we're Spike, what I love about this movie and how the story went and how Nia DaCosta was able to bring it to fruition was that like you say, stakes. That's key when it comes to certain styles of movies. If you put someone in a position and they're always going to make it, then now I'm really not on the edge of my seat anymore. There's no suspense. There's no real drama. There's no real stakes. There's nothing for me to cheer for in the end. And with this movie, based on the way that Jack O'Connell's character was rocking with these other Jimmies, right? Anybody can get it. If they didn't like respond to him in the way he wanted, boom, that's it for you. Yeah. If you meet someone along the road, they might bring you into the crew, but for him, it wasn't really about just building his crew into a huge, you know, size crew. It was like, okay, we're only going to take the strongest. So either you're going to fight to the death, and if you die, we ain't even tripping on you. We out. So this dude was like hard. He didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
He was horrible, bro. He was like the worst. You know what I mean? And you know, and to speak of Jack O'Connell's, you know, role, man, I give you one thing. One thing I loved about it was that they really kind of, well, I should say, Jack O'Connell played his role to a point where you understood how people can just start following him. Like if you're weak in the mind and you don't have anything, your way, you have nothing going for you. You know, you can see why Jack would be very attractive to many people, and that's what I loved about it. Because one thing I loved about his character as well, another thing I should say, is that he was never really out of sorts. Like of course he was insane, but he didn't really yell much. He was very calm. He looked you straight in the eye. He said what he had to say. And then that was the draw. That drew us. That drew me. You know, I'm looking at this guy like, okay, this guy I know is a psycho, but I can see how people could be like, yo, I think maybe, you know, he could protect me. I think that he's probably saying the right thing, you know. I'm the one that's going nuts and he's the one that's calm. He must know more than I do. You know, he's in control. That's what I love about what Jack does, you know. I mean, he did the same thing as Sinners. But in Sinners, they had him go a little more off the rails at times, you know, because he was a vampire in that one. But this one, he's on a good run, man. And I think that was so great about the film. You had like these different characters, man, of different like ranges. You had Jack was very cool. You got Spike, who was just like nervous as hell, didn't know what was going to happen and stuff like that. Right. You got the doctor doing his own thing. He tripping. Oh, and then one thing, what do you think about this, Jay? If people don't talk about this, man, we got to talk about this just a little bit. I love the songs. Just the music they chose for it just was like brought you into like, you know, his time. Yeah. You know, that's some good songs in there. And then when he was playing these songs, like you were saying, Jay, he wanted to kind of keep some type of civility like in his head. You know, and I think that playing these songs kind of kept them where, you know, in that time when everything was normal, to keep himself that day. I think I like how they did that, you know. And I was like, oh, that was a nice Nia DaCosta. That was a nice little you know, little nugget there. Yeah. In that one. So yeah, I guess, I think first of all, anyone out there who hasn't seen 28 Days Later Bone Temple, 28 Years Later Bone Temple, go see it.
Yeah. And I will also say I gotta champion Ray Fiennes for being like fearless and giving a phenomenal performance. Yes. Like if you've seen any movies of Ray Fiennes, you know he's terrific, right? But that performance that he did to, I don't know, what was that group?
Yeah, we don't want to spoil it, but there's a performance in there.
There's a performance, and just know that there's music, there's him doing something performative, and it fits so well into the movie. Something like that could have easily gone left,
Yeah.
And again, because of everything that's built into the characters, it hits. It's almost, honestly, I was smiling the entire time it was going on.
Right.
But also at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm like, shit, if he hits the wrong number or something like that, this could easily like flip for him, you know what I'm saying? You never know. And so again, I think I will also say, I really want to say this because I do think y'all should check it out. Show Nia DaCosta love for what she did, because Danny Boyle's great, Alex Garland's great, yes, but completely different look and vibe with still being the same look and vibe. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. But basically, some movies try to shoehorn things in there just because maybe it's cool.
Right.
But this movie coming off of the last one and being the first one in the series to actually pick up with the same characters and continue to build on what they got going on. So when it does come to the conclusion, you feel it. You feel it for real. So I thought full circle, this is a great film for sure.
Yeah. People go out there and see it. And there's a surprise at the end. Don't want to spoil it, but I was just kind of like, oh, you know, so it's one of those things. You know, you're like, okay. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Okay.
And we ain't spoiling nothing, but that surprise, I'm so thankful. I didn't know that was coming. I'm sure there's people out there that dug deep and was like, oh, this, that, you know, so-and-so, whatever. I had no idea. So when it came up, I felt like back in the day when you was watching that first Iron Man movie and you stayed to the end and you see Nick Fury, that moment we expect it now. It's different when you expect it, but when you have no idea what's coming, think about that for a second. So cool surprise in the end of this one. Great film all the way around.
Yeah, because there was no lead up on it. There's no clues or nothing. It just happened.
Here's the story. Enjoy.
Exactly. So, I mean, Bone Temple, definitely, you know, gotta see. I say you gotta see. So if you haven't seen it yet, still in the theaters, guys, go see it. If it's not, when it comes out in streaming, go see it. But we just have to say this: we're cinema lovers. So before we get out of this, we don't want to say, hey, we support the cinema and go out there and see the movies, man.
I'm gonna tell y'all like this right now. I got a wife. I got a 2.5-year-old son who's up there losing his shit right now. And I just had 2 twin girls. Right? They're like 5-6 weeks old.
Congratulations. Yeah.
I begged my wife. I said, baby, I got to see this movie in the theater. She let me go. So if I can make it, y'all can make it too. So don't even
That's
play.
what I'm saying. See, you got all that going, and he's still going to the theater.
Every now and then, you got to make it out to certain ones. This is one I think y'all should get out to.
Yes. You got to see this on the big screen. Definitely. Everything the way it was filmed, you have to see on the big screen. So, all right. So this is our review. Our first one, man, is our launch of Mission Movie Reviews, Real Talk with myself, Barry Gaines, and my man, Jay Greene.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. All right. Peace.